All of this data we have got. In the same way, if you want, you can simply check all the data which we have right up here. So if you want to send the entire bucket data, so I can simply copy this one, paste here, and you can simply get this entire data. And that's what you can paste. The moment you will do that, you will find that it has all the data, which you can have a look. Let's open it up and let's run this command. Hit enter, you will find that it's making the request, and here we have the data. So this is the huge data. In the last video, we have learned that how we can manage and make an API call to our CoinState API provider to get the data and design the structure, follow the authentication model. That's all we have covered. In this lesson, we're going to master the query parameter, that how we can add filtration, query model on the API request. So right now you will find that I have created a particular file called index.js, and this is the variable we have taken because for making a call to our CoinState API provider, we need the API key. So first thing we have to do is to get the API key. To get that, you can come back to the browser, and I'm already logged into my CoinState API key dashboard, and I can simply get this one. I can simply copy, and you can also come back here, and here you will find all the details. So the one we are looking for is this one. This is the one we're going to make a call and try to understand all the things. So let's come back here, go back to the code here, and that's what I'm going to provide here. So let me quickly provide my API key, and this is my API key. You can get your own very easily, so use your own. So once we have our API key, now we have to build the function in which we have to design the query param. So I'll come back here and let's take the function I have called main. Inside that, we're going to take a variable called params. And then we have to define that what are the query, what are the params we want to set. And we already have an inbuilt function in Node.js which we can call. So let's call this new URL search param, in which you have to pass all the parameter which you want to filter it out and get the data. So let's build that one. So first thing is going to be our page number, that how many results you want to display in the first page. You can define the quantity and the length. So that's the first query parameter we are adding. Then we'll go to the next one. We have our limit, that how many you want to limit. It could be a 10, 12, depending on your UI design. You can simply give the number. So once we have the limit, now we have to go with the next one, which is the USDT, because we are focusing on the currency, that this currency I want to accept, because it could be in Bitcoin, Ethereum, or any native currency of the blockchain, which is not easily to understand for the normal user. So we have to convert that into a USD model. So once we have the currency, now we can come back to the next state, and we have to add the feature of shortening by. So user can simply perform the filter, that how you want to short it. So that's what we have. I'm taking this 4 parameter. If you want, you can include more, add a descending order or ascending order. So we have taken this 5 query model, and that's what I have. Now once you have this params, now you can come back here and define the URL where you want to make the call, and then you have to set the param that you have taken. So if I come back here, this is my base URL, and this is the same URL we have taken in the last video. You can also take the version 1. There's no problem in that, but I'll go with this base URL. If you check the documentation, there you will find the complete details, that what are the base endpoint which they provide. So they also provide the V1 model, which you can have a look, but I will go with this base model. Once you have that, now here you have to design the param. So to design that, we have to give the question mark, because it's going to take the query. Then we have to define the structure. So let me give that, in which I have to simply pass the entire param we have taken. So let's give that one. So this is our query parameter we have set into our URL where we want to make the call. So our URL is ready. Now come back to the next stage. Then we can simply come back here, and we have to simply validate. You can simply console log out and check that what entire URL we get. That's what we're going to check. Now come back to the next stage. There we have to simply make a call. That's the same logic we have followed in the last video, where we have used the fetch model. We got our base URL in which we have to pass the data. Can you guess what are the data we can pass? I hope you have watched the last video. Then simply pause the video and try to pass the query. It's very straightforward. Let me do that. Let's come back here, take the object in which we can simply pass. First is going to be the method, that what kind of request I want to make. I want to make a get request, because I want to get the data from the CoinState API. I have to pass the header in which I should pass my credential. So the backend CoinState API server should know that this is the valid request. So I'll give my header in which I have to set the params. So first one is going to be the accept, that what type of data I want to accept is going to be a JSON format. Then I have to give my API key, which we have taken here. So let's give that, and let's call this API key. So this is how we have authenticate ourselves, and it's going to give a valid response. It will give us the response and we'll get right up here. Once you have the response, now we have to check that response, that whether we have got the valid response or a failed response. That's one is very important because most of you forget this part. So let's come back here. Let's check the response. So what I have done, I have taken this if statement and I'm checking for OK status. Now, if there is something wrong, I have to throw the error message that request rejected status, and whatever the status will get, that's what we're going to log out. It could be 200, could be 400, server error, that's all you will get. So once you validate that, now, last video I taught you that you should never leave your error status as it is. You should always return something. So your application should not crash. So I'll just want to return an empty or object. Once you have this one, this is the if statement. Now we have to go back to the next stage, and once we get the valid data, then we have to simply perform all the action on top of that. So let's come back here and get all the data. So here we got all the data. We have to convert this data into an object because it's in the JSON format, and I'm calling this wait because we have to wait. Once the data is coming, then we're going to have it right up here. So now the data is properly in object format, and now we can perform all the action the way we want to design our system. So once you have the data, now you can come back here, go back to the next stage, and there we can simply convert it. So what I want to simply render this into a table format. So I have taken my data in which I have called the result, because this data will have a object called result in which you will have the complete data about this particular filter model we have, and we are running a map model and we're calling this. Now in which we can define that what are the data we want to render in table format. So let's take this as an object. So I'll take this and let's define the first one is going to be the rank. What is the rank of that coin? Then I want to filter further. I'll get the, let's say, name. I'll get the symbol. I'll get the price. So this is the 4 data I'm taking, but you can take more because this data will have a lot of data. Once you will have all of this data, now you can go back to the next stage. Again, based on the UI, based on the feature, based on the location, you can simply design the data. Once you got the data, now we can come back to the next stage, and then we can simply log out. So what we are doing, we are simply logging the top 5 currency by price, and let's do that. So here I got the entire table data which we have formatted right up here. So once you save it, now we have to simply call the function we have built, main function. So we can come back here, let's call this main. Now the entire function is ready. It's pretty straightforward. We have taken our API key, we have built our query models, we have made the request by passing the query model, and once we get the response, we are checking for the response, and then we are getting the data and designing based on our format. So if I open up my terminal, this is what we have from earlier. I can simply cancel it out. I'm here in this particular directory, lesson 2 query parameter. Now I can simply run this one. So let's come back here, and this is the command I have to run. The moment I will hit enter, you will find that I'm making the request and the data I've got in the table format. So this is the query we have designed, the page, the limit, the currency, the sort by price, and the descending order. And you will see that's what we have got. All of this data we have got. In the same way, if you want, you can simply check all the data which we have right up here. So if you want to send the entire bucket data, so I can simply copy this one, paste here, and you can simply get this entire data. And that's what you can paste. The moment you will do that, you will find that it has all the data, which you can have a look. Let's open it up and let's run this command. Hit enter, you will find that it's making the request, and here we have the data. So this is the huge data. And it's not an ideal situation where you have to render the complete data. You should always minimize your limit, your request based on the UI section, based on the feature where you want to display the data. So you can see we are getting all of this data. So this is how you can build your query params. We already have an inbuilt feature in this node environment which you can pass and make a request and get all of this. So this is how you can design and structure on the query parameters. So I hope you have understood that how we have made the call and how we have designed the system. And the moment you design the system, and if you want to know that from where I have come to know about these params we have, you can come back, you will have the complete details. So let's click on this try, and then you will find all the parameters, like we have page, limit, we have coin, we have the currency, we have name, we have symbols, all of this we have. You can also do the filtration based on the blockchain. That's all you can pass. So this is how you can do it. This is the global model we follow in the industry, where you can simply design the entire system, entire params based on your requirement. So whatever you're going to define, if you want to define the blockchain, you can define that one, and you can have all of this. So that's the only thing I want to cover in this video. In the next video, we'll try to go a little deeper and try to get the complete data about one crypto coin and how we can simply build the entire system. Because when you're going to build a single page application, then you need to design the system. So let's move to the next video.